Okay, so here we are, and I said the 15th of year, Hayom Yom, this one. In the days of the Alter Rebbe, the Hasidim had a familiar saying. Here's the saying: the piece of bread that I have is yours just as it is mine. And they would say the word yours first. Yours just as it is mine. Well, that's an interesting tie into today's Tanya. How can it be yours and mine at the same time? But we know that that's the case. So we're going to discuss how Hashem can be this and that. He can be infinite and he can be finite. That's what we started to talk about yesterday. This is in Lessons in Tanya on page 711. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I think that's right. 711. And over here in Likutei Amorim, it's on page 134. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines down. So that was the problem that we posed at the beginning of this new chapter Mem Ches. The fact that Hashem is infinite, and if so, where does the finite come from? This is kind of simple way of saying the problem at hand, the issue. So we're going to introduce the concept of what's called the tzimtzum, the contractions, the condensations, the diminishments. And we said earlier yesterday, that one of the definitions of Hashem being Ein Sof, he's not bounded without end, right? Ein Sof. He's not bounded by anything, meaning he's not bounded and limited to be infinite. He can be also finite, because if he were only infinite, that would be a limitation. So how does this work? The specifics of the notion of tzimtzum, this is the word we're going to start hearing over and over again. Tzimtzum, condensations, contractions, shrinkages. We're going to define it in a line as concealment. Concealment of in other words, Hashem has two opposite states which exist concurrently. One is the state of revelation, and one is the state of hidden, as we'll see. In a pratius tzimtzum, in the details of these tzimtzumim, exactly how and what they are, ein kan makom biurim. This is not the place where this is going to be explained in detail, but we're going to get the general idea. Derech klal, that's what he said. The general idea is as follows. Ein bechinas hester behelen. What Chassidus calls tzimtzumim is a state of God's concealing his infinity, and as an automatic result of that, revealing something which is finite. Concealing and hiding. What is he hiding? He's hiding he's hiding the drawing down and the light and the vitality, that it should not come down and be revealed in the lower worlds, that his allness, his infinity, his unfathomableness, his unlimitedness is not revealed to the lower worlds. What's revealed to the lower worlds is his contractedness, his concealment. In the language of Kabbalah, the original state of things was that there was only light. And this was a light that was impossible for anything else to exist because there was and is nothing else. Now I say was and is. There still is only nothing else. But at the beginning, it was a state in which there was no notion of there being anything else at all. So the language that's used in the language of Kabbalah, Hashem pulled himself alatzad, to the side. This is just metaphorical language, of course. He pulled himself to the side, and he emitted a very narrow beam. And that narrow beam is called the Kav, is the origination of all of the differentiated states of reality, as opposed to the totally undifferentiated states of reality in which no specific or differentiated thing could exist. So he hid that undifferentiated state. It's of course there. The infinite, Hashem himself, his essence is absolutely in everything. But the revelation of it, the Gilui, is concealed. In order to be enclosed and to flow into them, into the created reality, and to enliven the created realities, there should be a something which has contour, definition, specificity from that state which is undefined and unspecific. Yesh, specific something, ayin, undifferentiated. So, but ayin is not nothing, right? This is important. Ayin is not, ayin is everything. But it's in a state of non-differentiation. So non means ayin, non-differentiated. Yesh is differentiated. So what does he do? As I said, he pulls himself to the side. He emits this carrier beam, so to speak, in order that just a little bit of light should flow out, light v'chayas and life force, in order to create the category of things which we call limited. So limitedness is something that's created from unlimitedness. There should be the realm of gvul v'tachlis, limitedness and definition, or things which have an end, which are bounded. Tachlis could translate here boundedness. Shehi ora moetas, which this beam, which is what creates the whole state of individuality and infinite individuality, infinite individuation of worlds upon worlds upon worlds, is only from this beam, ha'ora muetas, and from this beam which is very, muetas ma'oid, which is very, very little, umamish kalei chashivi, and this beam is considered like absolutely nothing, legabi bechinas ha'ora beligvul v'tachlis, in relation to the light which is without boundedness and without limitations. Ve'en b'neihem erech v'yachas klal, and there's no relationship one to the other, the finite to the infinite. They're totally different realms. En b'neihem erech b'neihem klal, as is known. Pirush milas erech. If we look at the word comparability, how you compare one thing to another, let's take numbers, b'misporim, numbers. She'echad, if you take one, the number one, b'mispar, in number, yesh le'erech legabi mispar elef alafim. The number one has some comparability to the number 1,000,000. It's one of 1,000,000, or one in a million, right? As we say in English, it's one in a million. This one is a chelek echad minei elef alafim. One is one part of a million. But in relation to something which has no limit at all, this and no number at all, mispar klal, this number one, there's no comparison. Because even 1,000 thousands, and tens of thousands, they're not even like one, in relation to tens and tens of thousands, right? This one, in relation to infinite, you can take the number, a million is nothing. It's less than the number one compared to the infinite realm. An infinite realm is in the realm, when we say infinite here, we're talking about worlds beyond number. As it says, Oilimus ein mispar. He creates worlds without number. So he has an initial state of being which is not in the realm of number whatsoever. So even a million, no matter how big the number is less than the number one, because there's no relationship at all. And so it is That's the metaphor. So it is in the level of illumination, the little illumination of Zu, which creates all the worlds, Hamislabeshes ba'olamis, which is enclosed in all worlds, all the worlds, the upper worlds and the lower worlds, however many there are, go count them, but they're uncountable. But they're in the domain of counting, even though the numbers keep going on and on and on and on. That's not the infinity we're talking about. The infinity we're talking about is not the endless progression of number. The infinity we're talking about is out of the realm of number completely. And he creates worlds without number, upper worlds and lower worlds, and he's mashpia bohem, and he flows his godly energetic into them, to enliven them. And there's no comparison. All of that, legabe or hagonus hanelim. There's no comparison between all of that and the light which is hidden and concealed, shehu bebechinas ein sof, which is without any limitedness, meaning without any comparability, not in the world of boundedness at all. And this light of what we call the Or Ein Sof, the infinite light, as opposed to the finite light, which can go on many, many millions and millions and millions and millions, but this infinite light which is called Ein Sof, is Einem Islabish Mashvia Ba'olamis. It's not enclosed in. It's here, but it's not enclosed in because it can't be granularized. It can't be like take a hold of it and put it into something else. It's not enclosed, and it doesn't flow into the worlds bibechinas giloy. That's the important word in a level of revelation. It's here, the infinite light, but it's here in a way that's completely hidden. Because if it were revealed, the infinite, as we're talking about, which is the world beyond the realm of number, a world in which there is no differentiation at all, then there would be no differentiation at all. There would be no worlds, and there would be no us. Things would revert back to the state before the Tzimtzum. So there would be no worlds, to enliven them. But this light, here's a new concept, a new vocabulary. This light, which is the infinite light, is makif aleihim milamayla. It literally hovers over them from above. And nikra, and it's also called soiviv kol almin, the light which encompasses all worlds. The ein hapirish, now here is an important line, because if you just take the word surrounding all light, you might imagine an entity. Here's an entity, my finger, and around it is the light. Well, if that's the case, then this surrounding light it doesn't touch and has no relationship to this finger in the middle. It's surrounding. So what do we mean surrounding? This is a critical point in understanding this vocabulary in Chassidus. When we say it's a makif, it's all-encompassing, it's surrounding, it doesn't surround it from above, the bechinas makim. It's not that here's the thing, and this is the place like a circumference to the point of a circle. It's not like that. Chas v'sholom. God forbid. Because when we speak about this level of light, the vocabulary of place doesn't mean anything. Because if I use the word, I'm going to this place, well, this place has a specific definition. Let's say I'm going to Australia, right? That's a place. And it's different from other places. I can go to this place and that place. So once you say place, you're talking about a world of differentiation. Ella, so what does it mean when we say or hasoiviv, a light which is surrounding or encompassing? So it's hovering from above. Now, this is also a difficult thing. Not difficult, but just needs to be understood. When we say it's hovering or surrounding from above, we mean it's in a state which is a state that precedes revelation. It's present everywhere. And this is the the contradiction. This is the paradox. It's present everywhere, but it's at a level which precedes and is deeper than any kind of revelation of hashpah, of any flow. Ki hashpah, flow, shehu bechinas gili ba'olamus, which is revelation in the worlds, nikras b'shem halvasha. That's called enclothement. So we have now very two fundamental worlds. Soivev, if something is soivev, it's the all-encompassing light which is here and penetrating everything equally. That's one characteristic, and in a concealed way, in that it's not revealed. It's not revealable, because once it becomes revealable, it's a something, and it's different from something else, but it's not revealed. The stuff that is revealed we call halvasha. Halvasha means investment or enclosed. Shemislabeshes ba'olamus. He becomes enclosed in the world. So he says twofold aspect of Hashem: the or hasoivev and the or mamale. On this page, we're not using the term mamale, but hislabshus, when Hashem is enclosed in the worlds, that's often called in other contexts. That's how he fills all worlds. He fills all worlds with a differentiated light, which produces the multiplicity of things, which is boundless in number, but in the category of number. That's hislapshus, or the mamalikol alma. The orasoivev is out of the realm of number completely. And you have these two opposite states of reality concurrently occurring in all of what exists, mamale and soivev. I'm just thinking I could give quantum physics brings to light these states. We have very fortunate that we live in an age where there has been some development in science. One of the states in one of the aspects of quantum science is that if you take a look at a phenomenon, the question is the phenomenon something which is a particle or a wave? And these two things are opposite. Particle is very differentiated, wave is continuous, and quantum physics allows both to exist simultaneously. And this notion of both existing simultaneously corresponds to the makif and the soga and the soivev and the mamali existing concurrently. And there are other things that occur in quantum physics also. Like there's excuse me, a concept called entanglement. The two particles far away from each other can influence each other with no visible or even any way of displaying any kind of process that brings them together. So Einstein called this spooky matter at a distance, or spooky phenomena, spooky motion at a distance. And there are others, but I don't think we really need to get in. But just keep in mind that there is a science, a way of viewing things on the table, which echoes this, which is quantum, that two opposites can exist simultaneously. And the root of that can happen, is this, that Hashem is both Soivet and Mamali at the same time. So this is a phenomenon that worlds exist as a result of his slabshus, his enclothement, his filling all worlds, and they are individuated. And at the same time, every differentiated world, or that's in the world of quantum particle, also has a wave function going through it, which is invisible and which is everywhere the same. So this is called halvasha. This halvasha is the differentiation at the top of page Samaches. He invests himself in the worlds. Kihei malbishim umasigin v'hashpah. And therefore, worlds and we who are in the worlds can have some grasp of godliness. If it were just the soive, we would have no ability to grasp it because it's intangible. But he gives us this blessing. Number one, he creates us. And number two, he invests himself in it. And with that light which is invested, we are able to masigim, to grasp some of the hashpah of godliness, shemakablin, that we and all the worlds receive. The level of flow of God which is not revealed, but remains concealed, hidden, and the worlds do not have any grasp of it at all. That's not called enclosement, ela makefes. That's called surrounding. Encompassing and surrounding. Therefore, so since worlds, all of the worlds, everything that in the realm of created entities has some boundedness and some limitation, you reach the end of it. Nimsa comes out. It comes out that what's happening is the essence or the more essential or the deeper levels of God are not being enclosed and not being revealed in them in a revealed state. And what do we get? We just get a little bit of a ray, a little bit of a light. A very small and limited light. Which is very contracted. Mitzimtzemes is the word simsum. And this contracted light is what enables the worlds to become worlds, separate worlds. It enlivens them in a bounded and limited way. But the root light of everything, bleed simsum kol kach, which is without so much contraction, excuse me, nikra makif, that's called hovering, v'soivev, and surrounding. Because its presence is not revealed in anything. Because the things are limited and they can't pick up on the totally unlimited. Two different worlds come together, the the Soiviv, and the Mamale, as God expresses himself simultaneously in two opposite ways, wave and particle, or Soiviv Umamale. So that's the foundation. This is extremely foundational. So when you see Hashem is here, Hashem is there, Hashem is everywhere, yes, okay? But if he's everywhere, then how do little individual things exist? Because he is the one, the phrase from Kabbalah that really says it all and encompasses both of this is that Hashem is the one who is Noisei Hafachim. He is the one who carries opposites. Allness and singularity, undefinability and definability at the same time. That's today's Tanya. You got any questions or comments on this? Rosa, your hand's up.
I don't know if this makes sense, but it seems to me that the allness is something that we tend to think of Hashem as allness, and we know Hashem is Mamale because we see, that's what Hashem is Mechadesh. Hashem is causing our world to exist, and his presence is here. Yeah. But it's sometimes we stop at that. Like the thought of Hashem is here is a very big deal. It sounds like a child song, but we tend to think of Hashem as there.
Well, the child song is right. The child picks this up more than the adult. The sense of Hashem is here, there, and everywhere at the same time is no problem. And that's the inner sense of Hashem. You're absolutely right. The child within is often what we want to get to because that's where we have some experience of the Soiviv. Anybody else?
So what is the part when we see Hashgacha Pratis?
Well, think about that. We'll pratis. It's specific. It's specific to you. It's specific to the situation. That's the part from Mamali Kolam. Mamali is specificity, individuality.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to say it's
Mhm.
both. We have to say it's both.
Well, it's
all the
always
time.
both. They're always both together, but what you're
Right.
seeing is something specific.
And that's why we shouldn't be so confused if we feel confused.
Right. It's okay to feel confused and know that there really is no confusion. He's got it down. He's got it down. He can be limited and unlimited at the same time. He can be a wave and a
So
particle.
can we. So there.
Yeah. Well, that's absolutely true. We have that within us. We absolutely have that within us.
But I think that's really the avoda, because to really internalize that Hashem is connected to little me at the same time that Hashem is so vast.
Right.
This is the avoda. It's
Right.
and it's often we say no, like let's say I found a parking place. Am I going to say that's hashgacha pratis, or am I going to say that that's too small? And we say there's
Or that
nothing.
it's what? Too
If
small?
I found a parking place, am I going to say that it was hashgacha that somebody pulled out just as I came in, or am I going to say that's too small for God? But we're really saying here that nothing is too small.
Nothing is too small and nothing is too big, because he transcends both small and big.
Yeah. So this is the avoda in it. I think so. I think a lot.
Sure.
I was even speaking about the attribute of betachon and learning the betachon shar habetachon of the Chovos HaLevavos. I think that there are two aspects of betachon. One is you trusting Hashem with the future and not worrying, which is a madrega to reach that. And also the other aspect of bitachon is seeing Hashem in our life and everything that happened, saying that Hashem did this. It didn't just happen. That is also bitachon.
Of course.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi.
Mute yourself.
Just a second. I'm going
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, we'll live with it. We'll get used to it as we go further in these chapters. Okay? So, Emir Hashem, we'll see you tomorrow.